Sleeping Beauty Story. Many years ago, in a beautiful empire, there lived a king and queen who just had one wish. They were always praying, "Dear Lord, please give us a child and we won't need anything else in our lives anymore." But one day, when the queen was washing herself in the river, a frog came by and said, "Your wish will come true. You'll be having a child in next year." And as the frog forecasted, the queen bore a beautiful daughter. The king was so excited that couldn't prevent himself from throwing a big party and celebrate the holy birth of his daughter. He invited not only his close friends and relatives, but also the wise women who he thought they would be kind and favorable toward the little princess. He knew 13 of these women were living in his empire, but he only had 12 golden plates, so he had to ignore one of them. The feast was held gloriously. When the feast was about to finish, wise women gathered around Princess and started to give her gifts. One bestowed virtue, one beauty, a third riches, and so on, whatever there is in the world to wish for. And when it was the 11th turn to present her gift, the 13th woman, who has been not invited, entered with the fire of revenge burning in her heart. She, without any hesitation, started yelling, "In her 15th birthday, your beautiful princess shall prick herself with a spindle and shall fall down dead." And without saying anything else, she returned and left the palace. So the 12th came forward, since she hadn't bestowed her gift yet. "The princess shall not die by touching the spindle, but she will fall into a sleep for 100 years. The king, who was desperate to save his daughter, commanded to destroy all the spindles in the empire. The princess grew up, and all the gifts who had been given to her were shining in her appearance and personality. 15th birthday, when she was alone in the castle, she got bored and started wandering around the castle. Suddenly she saw an old tower. She climbed the narrow, winding stair which led to a little door with a rusty key sticking out of the lock, and there in the little room sat an old woman with a spindle, diligently spinning her flax. While she took the spindle into her hand, she began to spin. But in that very moment her hand touched the spindle, she passed out and lay in a deep sleep. And this sleep fell upon the whole palace. The king and queen, who had returned and were in the great hall, fell fast asleep, and with them the whole court, the horses in their stalls, the dogs in the yard, and nothing of it could be seen but the vane on the roof. From that moment, and from time to time, many princes came and tried to force their way through the hedge. But it was impossible for them to do so, for the thorns held fast together like strong hands. Many years later, a prince came to the country. In his way, he heard from an old man that there is a sleeping beauty had slept for 100 years. But the young prince said with courage, "I will try my best regardless. I will win the way through, and I will meet the lovely princess." When the prince arrived near the hedge of thorns, it was altered into a hedge of beautiful, lovely flowers. When he reached the palace yard, he saw the horses and dogs lying asleep, or of the little room where Princess lay. And when he saw her looking so lovely in her sleep, he could not turn away his eyes, and presently he stooped and kissed her. And she awaked and opened her eyes and looked very kindly on him. And she got up, and they went forth together.